this is what we're going to build. So if we press on sign up, you can see the validation. If you try and do this, same, we get it's not valid email. Okay, we do this, you can see it must be at least 6 characters. Let's add. Let's try one. There is no account with this. Okay, you can see there is an invalid email or password, but if we change it, so this is a valid account. So now we are in the home page. That's it, we logged in. The same thing applies to the register. You can add an account and register. So that's it. This is what we're going to build in this tutorial. So let's get started. The first thing that we need is install the required NuGet packages. So let's get started by the entity framework, SQL and tools. All right. SQL. Okay. And also dependency injection. Okay. I check everything installed. Okay. That's it. Okay, now let's create our user model. User. We start with an ID. Okay, we're going to add the attribute. Oh. Attribute for required. And also string length of, for example, 50. Now let's duplicate this. Okay, this is for the email. And here, let's add here the email address. Let's remove the string length. And password hash. And the last property is datetime offset. Created at, and let's give it to datetime offset.now. Okay, and also let's add an attribute here. So it's index, name of create an index of email. This will create an index for in the email database just to increase the performance, and also set the unique to true, because by default it's false. This will make the email column unique, no duplicate emails allowed. Okay, now let's create the DB context. Here, let's create a directory called data. Let's call it application DB context. Inherit from the DB context. Now let's create a table, DB set of user. Okay, let's call the table users. So the DB set represents the users table, and also add the constructor to accept the configurations. DB context options, application DB context. Okay, and do base options. And that's it. That's all that we need. Okay, now let's continue configure the dependency injection. So we're going to go to the documentation. So here, if we search for dependency injection, you'll get this. If we go down here, so we already installed this one, this package. We're going to create this class. So here, let's create a directory. Let's call it extensions. Create a class. This is the same as the documentation because I copied its name. So let's copy everything, replace it. And here, let's add the namespace. And here, let's register the DB context. So let's comment here, register application DB context. Collection at DB context. And let's write options or name it anything. And here, let's create so we're going to create the database inside our project where we launch our projects. It's going to be inside the bin folder. Let's call it base directory, app domain, .current domain, .base. Yeah, okay. And now let's create the database, db path is equal to b path. So here there are two paths. So we're going to take the input and output namespace dot combine. Wait a second, let's see the auto completion. Okay, authentication up. Okay, let's add .db and options dot use SQLite. And here add data source. Let's add the path, DB path. Okay, that's it. For here, we're going to register the services. We haven't created them yet. Register services, and here register view models. So I already have the main window view model that comes with the template. So main window view model. Okay. Once we create the other view models and services, we're going to add them here. Let's go to the app.xaml.cs to continue setting the dependency injection. Let's go back to the documentation. So here we're going to add this. And register all the services. Okay, let's add the namespace. And we need something that is not here in the documentation. We need to make sure that the database is created. So let's do using, and let's create a variable. Let's see this auto completion collection dot no scope is equal to scope, or not scope, services. Wait a second. Okay, let's continue. Add this, create the service provider, create service provider here, and we need something. Not yet view model. We need something. We need to make sure that the database is created. So using, let's call it, create a variable, call it scope. Let's add a var services dot create scope. Okay, and create a context. Let's use that variable. Service provider get required service, application DB context, yes. And await, let's await it. Let's add an async here. So context dot database dot ensure created Okay, that's it. And now let's continue. So documentation, let's copy this. We have main window view model, and let's change this to the VM. Okay, that's it. That's all we need. Okay, now let's go and create the service interfaces. Here, let's create a directory. Let's call it services. Let's create an interface here. Start with navigation. Navigation service. Okay. Let's add a contract. So it's going to be navigate to. Navigate to. Let's add the generic T that refers to the view model, where T is a view model base, which is a view model. Okay, let's create the other interface, which is authentication service. Okay, here we're going to create three contracts: the register, login, and user exist, to check if the user exists by email. So task, we're going to return the bool in all of them except for the login. Register user async, and here we're going to add all the properties: first name, last name, email, password. Okay, that's good. Let's add a namespace from threading. Yes. Let's return the user here when we log in. With email and password. By email. Okay, that's it. Okay, these interfaces are important for dependency injection and testability. So let's continue the implementation and just copy the name so I can just remove the I. Let's implement the missing members. Okay. So the first thing that we need here before implementing the navigation method is we need to add the window when we navigate between login and register or home or any other pages, which window that hold all these pages. So because we will have one window and the others are actually user controlled, so we are going to leave inside the window our main window, which its view model is main window view model. So we're going to use this. So the main window view model need to have a property that stores the view models. So we're going to create an observable property private. It's going to type the view model base, a view model base. Instead of selected view model, let's call it current view model. And we're going to define the default view model in the constructor later. That's it. Let's go back to the navigation service here. So private main window. Okay. We also need the entity framework iService provider. Private read-only iService provider. Okay, and inside the inside constructor. Okay. Now we can implement the navigation method. So here first we need to check if the main window view model is not null. So here if main window view model is equal to null, we're going to return task.complete, and then here we're going to get the required service from the T here, which is a view model. So we're going to get the required service from the view model. So let's call it VM. is equal to service property dot get required first. Oh yeah, I did a mistake. It's not iService property, it's iService provider. I provider. Okay. Let's copy this here. Get required service. Okay, and then of type T, which is the view model. And now we should have the view model. So let's set it to the current view model dot current view model. Okay, and then we need to return task dot complete, and that's it. We can check. No. Okay, we need a method, another method here. Before navigation, we need to say to the navigation service which window you are using. And to do that, we're going to create, so this one I haven't give it a window yet. I can't add it to the constructor because we will have a dependency, a circular dependency. Navigation service depend on the main window, and main window depends on the navigation service, so it's going to crash. And to solve this problem, I'm going to create another method here, and it should be a public, and that doesn't need to return anything. Let's call it set main window or main view model. Okay, and here we're going to do just main window is equal to this main window, this parameter. So we're going to give it in the main window view model. And that's it for the navigation service. Let's go to the authentication service. Let's implement the authentication service. First thing that we need is the application DB context. So private read only. Okay, let's just call it context. Let's add it in the constructor, initialize field from constructor. That's it. And now let's get started. And now let's get started with the register. So inside a try and catch, to catch any kind of exception, we're going just to return false. So first we're going to check if the email exists. So await user exists. It should be async, so for consistency, if they're all register user async, login async, so it should be async these two. Let's go back to this. Okay. And we're going to return false. And here, let's add async. Let's implement. Okay, we're going to finish. Let's implement it right now. Let's add async. So return and await context and user table users what? Why I'm getting, there's something wrong with the context. Oh, yeah, it should be application DB context. Okay. Users dot any async and user dot user email equal to the email of the parameter. Yeah, of course we need to use lowercase, lower invariant. So we store them in lowercase for consistency. So the same thing when we do check-in. Okay, let's continue. And now let's create a password variable. Hash is equal to hash password. Let's add the password. Okay, let's implement the password. Password always need to be encrypted. You never store the password as a plain text. And the return, so going to be string, the return. And the same thing. It's going to be static. So we don't create an instance when we refer it here. Using, and let's call the variable SHA-256. I'm going to use the SHA-256 library dot create. Let's add namespace. No, why? Okay. Yeah, it should be from the cryptography library. Yeah, this one. Var hash byte. Let's call it, and let's use that variable. Let's use the method compute hash, and let's do encoding dot utf-8. Okay, dot get byte. Let's get byte and password parameter that we added. And then we're going to return the first return. We need to convert it into to base64 string. Okay, this is right. And that's it. So we should return a hashed value of this password. And now var user is equal to new user, create a user, and adds the properties, add the, first name. Right, amazing. The auto completion. Email, email dot to lower variant, yes. And then password to password to these parameters. Okay, after creating this object, we're going to access the database and save it. Context.user.addUser. Okay, we're going to await context.save changes. Yeah, we always need to save the changes, or nothing will be saved, and then we're going to return true. And that's it. Okay, we're checking if the email already exists. If it doesn't exist, we're going to hash the password and then create the object, pass all the parameters that the user added, make the email lowercase, and then give it the password. Everything is okay. Let's continue with the login. Okay, here. So try. So for the catch, if there is a problem, we're going to return null. Okay, user, if we're going to create a user variable, and let's create add await. I don't know why it doesn't add the await automatic, so I always to add it by myself. Await is the context dot users, and here first our default async. Oh, wait a second. I didn't tell you to continue, but let's check. If email is equal to email, so first we need to check if it's the email. I prefer to add this in another method. Okay, first if there is an email, it's going to return the object. If it's not, it's going to return null. So it should be here nullable. Yeah, I should also update the interface. It should be nullable. Okay. And here, if user is equal to null, or, so we're going to do the verify password in a verify method. So verify password, and let's add the password that the user added, and the password of the database, user.password. Okay, if it's null, or let's implement this before continuing. So it's going to return bool. Okay, we prefer to call it db hash, just to know that it's coming from the database. So var password hash is equal to hash password, and let's add the password that the user entered as parameter, and then return password and see if the password that the user entered is equal to the password that is in the database. If it's the same, so it's going to return true. If it's not, it's going to return false. So here we're going to check if user is null or it's not the same. So we have to add the question not, or can we say not? No, it's not Python. All right, so return null. Okay, but if actually we found a user and the password is correct, actually the password that the user entered and the one in the database is true, so we need to return the user, and that's it for the login. That's all we need. So now let's go to the view model. First we're going to the view model base. So by default it has observable object, but we're going to use the validation. We need to turn it into observable validator. Oh, what? Observable validator. All right. To add the login here, to add the main window view model and set the default to the login view model, we're going to add a login view model here. So login view model. Okay. Let's implement the view model base. Make it partial. Let's go back to the main window. Let's remove this one. Let's add the iNavigation, but we have to register it first. Let's go here in the services, collection.add for the navigation, add singleton. We have to add it singleton. If we add transcend, it's not going to work, because once we go to a different view or page, it's going to become null. So we don't want it to refresh. We want it to be in the scope of the entire application. So navigation service, what? iNavigation service. The same thing, that's okay, but for this we're going to add transcend, that's okay. For this authentication service with authentication service, and we created a new right now, a login view model. You know, let's create it all of them so we don't come back to this extension method. Register view model and home view model. Home view model. Okay, that's it. Close this. Okay, we finished with this one. navigation 2, authentication 2. Yeah, we removed the property. Okay, here, so we need the navigation service, navigation service, inject it in the constructor. So here we're going to implement or call that method that I told you that we need to pass the window so that all the pages can navigate to it. So I'm going to add this here. So there is this syntax using this. Dot set main view model and set this window. That's how we access that set main view model. And now we are able to navigate to the login as the default window or default view. Okay, and for the design time, we need to create an empty constructor. Okay, and that's it for the main window view model. Let's go and implement the login. So for the login, we have only three controls, or three main controls. So we have the email, password, and the button to click to fire the login. But first, before doing anything of the login, let's try and navigate between the login and register and then implement the rest of the thing. Let's share and build if there is an error or anything like that before proceeding. Okay, so we're going just to create a button here. So what we're going to do is create a relay command for a button. So relay command async task navigate to register. Okay, let's add the namespace here. And let's add a wait. Oh, yeah, we have to add the navigation service. Private read only navigation service. Okay, inside the constructor, inject it. All right, so let's use it now. Navigation service dot navigate to register, and that's it. And now let's go to create a view for the login user control. So login view. Let's go to the main window, not main window of the view. I'm going to take this and this. I'm going to take these two. No, these two. Okay, instead of the main window, so login view. Okay. All right, so let's again copy this. What's going on? Login. Oh, yeah, it needs an empty constructor. Okay, and let's add a button content. Go to register command binding navigate to command, and that's it. Just to see the navigation, you can inside here do this and add a text block, text login view font size 24, horizontal alignment center, vertical alignment center. Okay, and that's it. Wait a second. We need to build, I think, in order to see the preview here. Okay. The login is enough. Let's go to register. Private read-only navigation service. Inside the constructor, create one empty for the design time. Relay command for the button. Private async task navigate to login. Wait a second. Navigate to register. Wait a second. We are in the register, so login view model. Let's create a view. Where's the view of the login? Where I created the view? Oh, bring it here. Okay, make sure that the authentication app.login view. I wanna compare it with the main class. Sure, class it should be here. I should add views here. Okay, and everything else stays the same. Make sure. Okay, that's it. What? Maybe, yeah, dot views. Okay. Register view. Let's take these two. The same thing inside stack panel. Can I do a copy? It's going to be the same. Going to change the few things. Register view and navigate to the login. Okay, go to login, and in order to make it work, we need also in the XAML we need to add the control, the content control, and the content is going to be bound to the current view model, and that's it for the main window. Let's try run. There is an error. Connection string data source is not supported for a possible alternative. So, okay, it wants to create the database data source. Wait a second, let's go to service extension. So the problem here, so data source, connection string data source, so this is not supported. So we added this in the service collection here. Why it's not finding it? It's a typo problem. It's data source, not date. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, let's go to register. All right, register view, go back. Okay, it's working. That's good. Let's continue and implement everything else. Okay, let's go to the login and let's draw a little bit. Okay, let's see at the email. No, so text block. Text says, oh no. Email. Font weight. Semi-bold. Let's add now a text. Not text box. Okay, so we haven't added any property yet, so we're going to just add a watermark. I'm going to duplicate this for the password. But it looks very close. And here we need to add the password character, which is asterisk like that. We need an error, we need a text block for showing error messages here in case there is a problem. Any kind of errors are going to show it in the text block here. So text block, it's going to be small, and the foreground, its color is going to be red. So we're going to come back to it because we have to add a boolean to check if it's visible or not. But for now, just here, let's add a text, just a message. And here for the login button, okay, let's add the background to be 3498 dB, okay, and the foreground to be white. Okay, the height is going to be 40. So vertical, we have to vertical content alignment center. All right. We're also going to add a status bar. So we're going to add a boolean property for is loading. So Once we click login, our register is going to show a login bar. We're going to simulate a low running task because the database is local. It's going to be so fast that we can't see the status bar. That's why we're going to do a 2-second delay so we can see that the taskbar is running. I mean progress bar is infinite. True. Okay. And at the end here, it should say, do you have an account or something like that, register. So navigate to register, stack panel, and change the orientation to horizontal. And then here inside text block, text, don't have an account. And then here a button, content register here, and we're going to change the background to be transparent. All right, so the foreground is going to be 3498 dp. Let's build. Let's add space of 5. Okay. Let's change the foreground here. F8C8D. Okay, so I think we need to push it a little bit. Okay, it's going. We don't see anything here. 10. Wait a second, this one. What if I do minus? Okay. So 5 is too much. 2. Yes. Okay, this is much better. Okay, this is in line. Okay, -2. That's good. Oh, wait a second. 21. Okay. Okay, we finished with the login. We're going to the view model. So we already have the navigation. So let's add the authentication. Private, read only by authentication service. Add it in the constructor, which means we need for the second constructor, delete it, and let's add null. Okay, now so we have the email and password. Observable property, private string email. Let's add the required attribute and also email address, observable property, private string password. Okay, let's add the attribute required, and it should be minimum length 6. Okay, let's add a default string empty. Let's create a property for observable property private boolean is loading. Also for the error message that I told you, so observable property message, and it's empty. Now we finished, so email, password, the bottom not yet, message, and progress bar is loading. We have already implemented this. Yes, no? Wait a second. Yeah, the button is ready. You can add command binding to navigate to register command. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the button. We like command, private, async, task, and login. So the first thing, we need to validate all the attributes that we added. So I'm then going to check if it has errors. Okay. This is from the observable validator. This has errors. Return. I'm just going to return if it has errors. And now we can say is loading is equal to true or yeah. Inside a try block, let's try and access the database and check if the email is there. So for the exception, I'm going just to show the message in case any kind of errors happen. So I'm going to use this message. So error message, what? Error message is equal to, let's say, invalid email or password. Should be here. And then I'm going to do this a.message and let's copy it here. Is loading, make it false at the end. Now let's try and get the user. So user is equal to await. Let's use the authentication service dot login user async, and let's add the email and password. Okay. And this email and password that the user has entered, and then we're going to check if user not equal to null. We're going to proceed and await, navigate to the login, else I'm gonna say error message is equal to, wait a second, so here it should be login failed and show the error, and here it should say invalid email and password, and that's it. So first, wait a second. So validate all properties and check if it has errors. So, and then I'm going to, yeah, we need to add the task.delay seconds or milliseconds. I think I need to do this. Milliseconds, okay, 2000. Now we have to add those properties in the view. Let's go to the code. Let's start from the beginning. Text block, okay, text box, enter your email, okay. Text, bind to the text email. Let's copy this Okay, I need to add the end quotation, and here password error message. So it should be bound to the error message, but okay, wait a second. So text, not text, is visible bound to error message, comma converter, and inside curly braces I'm gonna do x colon static and string converter dot is not null. So if it's not null, going to be, wait a second, is not null. If it's not null, it's going to be true. If it's true, it's going to be visible. If string converter is not null or empty. Let's try this. And for the button, okay, command bound to the login command, loading bar, so as visible bound to the is loading, so is loading is going to true, it's going to be visible. Okay, the same this button is going to be wait again, yeah, this button too, so is visible. If it's when we click login, it should be invisible and take the progress bar its place. Bound to is loading. If it's true, the current state is false, is loaded. So if it's false, so I have to do the opposite. Okay. Let's try and run it. I don't expect everything works perfectly, so I'm going to go step by step. I might forgot something or did a mistake. Okay, the first thing is the theme. So we have to change it whether light or dark. Let's do light with uppercase. If we click on, wait a second, go to register, okay. Click here, okay, we see, was it here or it's just when I clicked it? I forgot. Let's run it again. I forgot about the error message. I wasn't pretty sure about the string conversion there. Oh, it's here, so it should be the opposite. Let's go back. Is null or empty, so it should be is not null or empty. Let's try and run. Okay. Okay, it's not valid. Okay, for this one, it's it must be at least 2 seconds. Install, then say error message. That's it. Oh yeah, I haven't changed the text of the error message. My fault. Yeah, this one. I should be bound to the error message. Try and log in. Oh. Okay, invalid email password. Okay, that's good. It's working perfectly. Okay, now let's go to the register. The same thing, I'm gonna copy the same thing, same layout, and add and edit it. So before going taking the layer, let's go to the view model. We already know what to do. Let's add the authentication service, read only. Oh, that's good. Okay, so we're going to add the register first name, last name, email, a password, and two password and confirm password. So let's add them. Observable property, gonna copy this and private string first name. We make sure to be required, and the string length like 50. Control D, Control D. Last name, email required, and email address attribute. Oh, it should be, oh, we set password. Confirm password. Oh, that's good. The same thing, let's add the error message. Okay, that's it, I think. Let's go to the register button. Relay command. So first thing, we're going to validate all the attributes, and then we're going to check if there is any error. If errors, return. Okay, and then we're going to check if the password is not the same as the confirmed password. We're going to issue a message. If password not equal to confirmed password, I'm going to say error message is equal to and then we're going to return. If everything passes, we're going to make the is loading true. Okay, so now let's access the database and check if the email exists. So authentication service dot user exists. Let's add the email. So if it exists, we're going to show a message. And then return. If not, let's proceed and register the user. Let's call it success. Await authentication service dot register. Okay, and let's add first name, last name, email, and password. And if success, we're going to navigate to the home view. Navigate to login, not login, but home view model. And in case there is an error, we're going to show in the message. So message is equal to registration failed. Okay, should be syntax error here. Okay, registration. Yeah, when we started, yeah, we have to add also the await task dot delay. Let's do 2 seconds as an example, and then finally we need to stop it. Okay. Let's go to the view, to the login view, yeah, and copy everything. Register, what is it here? Paste. Okay, let's change register. Enter email. We start with first name and okay. First, let's show the view. Why there is an error. Register command. Navigate to login command. Okay. Let's build so we can see the preview while we are editing. Okay. First name. Last name. To email, wait a second, this one is to first name, bound to, textbook bound to, last name, email, okay, that's it. Password, yeah, we need to confirm the password here. Confirm password. Okay, we don't see it. Wait a second. Watermark. Confirm password. I think we need to add a scroll view. Wait a second. Okay. We only add padding, so that's okay. Confirm password. Wait a second. Okay, it's too much 20. I want to push. Wait a second, not have. That's weird. I can't see the line register. So let's say I log in here. Navigate to login. Okay. Or Have you an account? Okay. I'm not pretty sure why I can't scroll all down. Even the scroll bar includes the bottom part. Let's get a register. Yeah, that's weird. Let's try. Let's see what's going on here. So the solution is to add the height here. Height, let's say 600. Increase it 700. Okay, let's try a run. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go to the register, view model. Here I'm going to put a breakpoint. I want to check everything. Yeah. Here I want to check everything is correct. I don't know when I did editing, everything felt okay. Okay, so first let's do this. Okay, so listen, doesn't matter. Email. It has to be a valid email. Okay, password, let's do a different. Okay, let's do a different password. Okay, password. Let's say admin or test2 test.email. I shouldn't be able to, yeah. Oh, I should reset this to an empty, yeah. Okay, here. Error message is equal to string dot empty. And try register. 2 seconds. What? Where's my breakpoint? Where's the breakpoint? Let's check the database. Let's open in Dolphin. It should be here. Debug.ny. Authentication DB. Okay. Let's open it with here. So if you don't see it, you can go to View, Tools, Windows, and then Database. Okay, here let's add plus. Import from path. Where is my project? Yeah, here. Bin. Where is it? This one. Okay. Okay. Is to apply. And then, okay. Okay, click on introspect schema. Drop down, main, table, user. Let's do edit. Okay, it was created. But okay, it was created. But it couldn't see the main, this main window. The home. Oh. Oh yeah, I haven't created the home view. That's why. Okay. Let's go to the any kind of window. Main window. Let's take this. These two. Home view model. Yeah, we need the design. Data context. Let's create a really simple home. So border. Let's see the preview. Let's build. Oh, I don't see anything. So let's close it and open it. I don't know why it's not showing the view. It's not working. So inside ASTechMod, I'm going to do just a really simple thing. So I'm going to just center it vertically and horizontally center, and then add a text block, say text welcome. With the font size a little bit bigger, and font weight bold, and that's it. You have successfully logged in, or user register logged in. I think that's it. Let's run it again. The weird thing is that this, that's weird. This breakpoint didn't work. I don't know why. Why is that? Okay, let's do test email. What did I call it? Test email. Copy. And password. Okay. Nothing. That's weird. Nothing. With no exception. Okay, let's put a here in the login. Let's put a breakpoint that's at the beginning here. And password. All right. The email and password. So let's go step by step. Okay, there is no error. Load in and wait for a delay. Okay. And this is the user. Yeah, no, because I haven't went through it yet. Let's go another step. What's the user. Okay, we got the user. This is the date and all the details. Oh, this is the mistake. I should navigate to home. Okay. Now it should work. Oh, no, I don't need INA. Let's continue. Okay. Welcome, we have successfully logged. Okay, that's it. I think we finished. Maybe I will play around with the design later, but we finished the implementation. If I remember, I think I need, let's go to the, I think I need to reset the error message to string.empty, and that's it. We can also remove the delay. It was just for simulating a long running task. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much and see you in the next one. Right, so after designing, we got this result. Let's go to create account. Let's create an account. Okay, let's create a different password. You see, you can see we get this error message. Changed also the error, so let's sign up. All right, and here is the login, the home page. So let's restart. All right, let's try to log in. All right, it works. So that's it. If we go to database, let's do edit data. You can see this is the new account. All right, so see you then.